Chat, the second overall pick in the 1990 Canadian Football League draft, the one and only Ian Beckles. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
You do your homework, You do
I
your
do.
homework. You
I
do.
do.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, it was good stuff there, man. And there was no thoughts about when was that draft in comparison to the NFL draft? Before or
Uh,
after?
that was before. Before, yeah.
Did you know you were going to get drafted in the NFL draft? Like, did you have an idea?
No, I had no idea. I mean, I had some scouts. I had a scout tell me one time, they go, "What number are you?" I go, 75. They go, "Man, you can play 75." I go, "Thank you." They go, "How tall are you?" And I go, 6'3". And they go, "How tall are you, son?" And they go, 6'2". They go, "Okay, you're 6'1". And I go, "What difference does that make?" I go, "What difference does it make if I'm 6'1" or 6'5"? You know what the scout told me? First round, the fifth round. That's what he said. That's the difference.
Jeez.
With the same video, same tape, if I was 6'5", I'd probably be a first rounder. Because I was 6'1", I was going to be a fifth rounder. And that's where I went, fifth round.
Did you think that there was a possibility that you could play in the CFL instead of the NFL?
Sure. I mean, when I got drafted in the CFL, I mean, I got picked second overall. When I got to the CFL combine, I already went to the NFL combine.
Mm-hmm.
And I just told them, I said, "Guys, I'm not running again. I'm tired. I'll just take my numbers from the combine." They were like, "Fine." So then the offense and defensive linemen were doing drills. And I was sitting there watching them do one-on-one pass rush. And I hadn't done anything at that point. So I was watching, and these guys sucked. And I went from a no-name to putting somebody's helmet on and being the second. Like, if I had a video of that exhibition that I did, you'd be like, "That's the best lineman I've ever seen in my life." And I was killing. I went on offense and defense, and I'm talking about eviscerating cats. So it was, but I never. As soon as I got drafted in the NFL, I haven't heard from the BC Lions since. Maybe they call me tomorrow. I don't know.
I was going to say, do you remember the team that drafted you, BC
Of
Lions?
course, of
Do you
course.
remember who was drafted first?
Yes, I do. He was a running back.
Yep.
He was my roommate because I know because he got some tail that night and he did it next to me in the bed.
Oh
Uh,
my God.
his name, if you
Sean
Millington.
Sean Millington.
Millington, yeah. Light skinned cat.
And there was one other NFL player that got drafted in the first round that year in the CFL. Do you remember who it was? It was a special teams guy.
Special teams guy.
Drafted by the Edmonton Eskimos with the 6th overall pick.
Was it
It was a kicker.
Steve Christie.
Steve Christie got drafted out of William and
Yeah.
Mary. Wow, that's great.
There you go.
Good stuff. Not good stuff. The Buccaneers game yesterday.
Woo! Nah. Yeah, I mean,
not good, dog.
No, I was listening to you on the way in, and I think by you saying the injuries catch up with you, we were 6-2, but that wasn't a real six. I mean, not saying they didn't deserve it, but it was a 6-2 that you looked at. You go, "Well, we can't keep playing like that."
Got some smoke and mirrors to it.
There was a little bit of smoke and mirrors to it, okay, because we weren't consistently doing anything in that 6-2. Not really. It was kind of here, there, everywhere, doing this, rushing the passer, not rushing the passer, running the ball, not running the ball, big passing. So there's a lot of different things going on. And I think we've just hit reality because, unfortunately, some of our good players aren't playing well. I just did my podcast and in the trenches, and I didn't think that's about as bad as I've seen Tristan Wirfs play. And
Last couple weeks, man.
It's been 2 weeks in a row where Tristan Wirfs has looked, average, and I've never said that before. And as a whole, the offensive line, how do you say that if they're A, B, C, or D? It's a different line every single week, but the results aren't good. The offensive line is not playing well at all.
Graham Barton, year 2. What do you think?
Well, Graham Martin, I think, and I had this discussion with Tony Mayberry, and his first thing was like, "What do you expect? They put him out of tackle." And there's something to that now. If they put me out of tackle, it's going to change my technique completely. Then you want to put me back at guard, and then I got to tighten up again. So I don't think he's taking steps forward that I want to see, because I know from my first year to my second year, I probably improved 40%. And he had a pretty good, rookie year. And I'm just not seeing the improvement yet from this young kid.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, you like my jersey today?
I did like that. Where'd you get that from?
Oh man, best Christmas gift I ever got.
Oh, I do know where you got that from.
My
That's
guy Ian
Fido.
Beckles got me this back in the day from the
Yeah.
Ron and Ian days because they didn't get me
Yeah,
any of those
Fido.
damn Lightning players. So Ian hooked me up. So I appreciate you, brother.
It's all
I
good.
gotta ask you this. I don't know if we've ever talked about this before because I've been catching a little heat on social media about this because I am not a big believer in pressures.
Okay.
Because I feel like when people talk about pressures, they talk about it like it's a predictive stat. Like, oh, pressures are going to lead to sacks. And I think at times it can. I understand that. And I understand pressures to the point of you're going to make the guy get rid of the ball maybe a little quicker than he wants. I understand that aspect of it. But if pressures don't lead to sacks, Beck, and all you're talking about is almost, like you don't get paid on pressures. You get paid on sacks. And when I watched the game yesterday, I see Yaya Diaby, which is to me, Mr. Almost. Almost. It's almost like 2 or 3 weeks out of the year, he gets a couple sacks. And it's like, see, and it's like, well, I'm looking at the other 14 weeks where it's, he finishes the year with 7 sacks and he's got all these pressures. I don't give a shit how many pressures if you have. It's a problem that these guys don't get to the quarterback. So how do you kind of balance that out of, yeah, I understand pressures can be good, but if you're banking on that and you're not getting home, I think that's a problem too.
I think if you get 15 sacks, then I want to hear how many pressures too. You know what I mean? But if you're
Right.
not getting sacks, then you're late. Okay, so I
You're
agree with
late.
you. I agree with you on that one. That being said, and I've said this in the past, and I never heard anybody bring it up, but there's a difference between a pressure, a quarterback hit, a quarterback pressure that leads to an interception, but they're all kind of in the same category. You see what I'm saying? Like you could be a little bit late, and the quarterback just completes the ball, or you could be bearing down in his face and make him make a bad decision, and the ball goes the other way for a touchdown. So his pressures aren't, and I said this just a second ago when I did it on my podcast. His effort doesn't result into anything. It doesn't result to anything. Okay, does he play hard? Yes. Does he get results? No. And this is a result oriented. I mean, that's what football is about, results. It's like saying, oh, that guy runs great routes, but he don't catch no balls.
Right.
Well, eventually you're just going to say, well, then he's not a great receiver. Well, Yaya Diaby's not put out there to be tough, and he is tough. He's out there to sack the quarterback or make plays and tackles for losses. It's not enough. It's not enough for me. I like the effort, but the results ain't working.
We spoke about Anthony Nelson a couple of weeks ago and him getting a lot more snaps this week. And we watched him get off the line a little bit and it was awfully slow. And then I want to ask you about that. What do you see from Anthony Nelson and do they need a guy like Hassan Reddick back? Like, how do you address this pass rush now that the trade deadline's passed? They're not going to go out and get somebody. Bowles is just going to have to rely on doing what he does, right? And trying to get sacks from other spots.
I don't know if either one of them is a full-time player. I think both of them need each other because I think if you cut, their reps in half, I think they'll both be better football players. Nelson, I didn't hear his name once yesterday, really. Although, and the game before that, I heard it all game long. So, I seen both ends of it. Sometimes it's a matchup thing. All right. Reddick played quite a few games where I didn't see him take anything over. He made a couple plays here and there, but we need as many pass rushers as we can get, okay? Because we're not putting the quarterback on the ground enough. And we've watched when deep into the playoffs, if you don't rush that quarterback, those teams will kill you. We know that for a fact. And right now, I just don't think anybody fears us up front. I mean, once again, Vita's our best pass rusher. Again, I just don't know if that's ever going to be enough.
Todd Bowles really getting a lot of heat today because of, taking Jamel Dean out and putting Benjamin Morrison out there. And the first 4 passes against Benjamin Morrison were 70-yard touchdown, completion, pass interference, completion. Why? And I brought this up before. I said the reason why they're doing it is because Jamel Dean, even though he's had a really good year, and there's a reason why they made him take a pay cut. And he's also never been healthy really for 17 games. So to think that Jamel Dean's a lockdown corner, he's going to play every single snap, I think is a little short-sighted. But when you get into a situation like you have yesterday where Benjamin Morrison's getting roasted and toasted and burnt to a crisp, I mean, they've done it the last couple of weeks back where they've kind of rotated him, but man, it blew up in Todd's face yesterday.
Well, I think it's deeper than what you just mentioned, Jay, because this is how it goes, all right? If it never happened to me, but if a team came up to me and said, I want you to take a pay cut, and I say, okay, that means I want to stay. That's cool. Or I'm not ready to leave yet. But then the next year, when it's time to re-sign, if you have a bunch of other teams wanting you, you're going to go to those other teams because you're not going to feel loved. You see what I'm saying? You think they want Jamel Dean to get 10 interceptions? Because then he's going to just go away and get, I'm being serious about this.
No, it's a business decision.
It's a business, and when you're talking about this Morrison kid, they're going after him. Okay, they don't go after Jamel Dean. So the reason why he's in there is politics, period. I had a time where Charles McCray was starting in front of me because he was a first-round pick. I was playing more of the game, and I asked my coach, I said, yo, what's going on, dude? Because I'm not really trying to be behind that cat. He looked at me and goes, it's not my choice. So, I think this may be above Todd Bowles because Morrison's the future of this team. It's not Jamel Dean because Jamel Dean's probably going to be gone. So they want Morrison to be better, or they want him to get his reps. But right now, as Buccaneer fans, we know that Jamel Dean is the best choice right now. My eye says Jamel Dean's better.
Baker Mayfield comes out and said that there's issues during practice last week. Guys were making too many mistakes, and then they go out there. He did not seem happy after the game, and it wasn't the normal, all right, I didn't play well. And of course, he took ownership of it, but it wasn't. It was more of an anger more than a disappointment. And it seems like he's calling out some of his guys and, people that are out there and they want Todd Bowles to do that. That's not Todd Bowles' way. He's just not going to do that. And that's part of the reason why guys love him, right? Because he takes them behind doors, and that's just not the way he goes about his business. But Baker Mayfield steps to the podium yesterday and he says that we got to be better and guys need to have more pride. That's not necessarily something you want to hear, Beck, from your starting quarterback and challenging his players on the offense to have more pride. What do you think when you hear something like that from Bake?
I think one thing about myself, I think I'm consistent, okay? I don't like that from anybody.
Right.
I don't care who you are, okay? I really don't. I don't give a crap who you are. If you have an issue with teammates, do it in-house. Say, let's have a meeting. You, and you're not good enough. You're not going hard enough. If you're mad enough to do that, okay, good for you. I don't like anybody pointing to teammates in the press. It never helps. You know why? Because now the press wants to know who those players are. And now they're going to ask the coach, they're going to ask other players, who's he talking about? And I don't think that ever helps. And here's the thing, Jay. You think Baker's playing well?
Not great.
Okay, well, he's not playing that great. Okay?
And he said he took ownership too, but it was at the end. Like, it starts with me, and I get that.
That's fine, but what do I always say, Jay? If your film is not good on Monday, watch your mouth, okay? Because you're pointing at people, and when they watch that film and they're watching him throw some balls off here and there and not making the right choices, they're like, what were you telling everybody? I don't remember anymore because you didn't play that damn well. So if you think you're going to call somebody else out or a bunch of people out, boy, your film better be good on Monday. And I'm not sure Baker's film was that great. Listen, I like Baker Mayfield as a competitor. I don't like that.
Let me ask you a question, and this is a good question. Is this similar to what we heard from Tua a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, of course. It's very similar. What's the difference?
Nobody's going to make but here's the thing, Beck. No, here's the difference. Nobody else is making that comparison today but me and you. Because this doesn't sound a lot different than what we heard from Tua a couple weeks ago, saying about guys not going to meetings and blah, blah, blah. And then when Baker says, well, my teammates got to play with more pride. And then all right, so then, like you just said, I just went down the list.
Yep.
He's not talking about Kate Otten. He's not talking about Rashad White and Sean Tucker. He's not talking about Emeka Ibuka. He's not talking about Tej Johnson.
Right.
So who are you talking about? You're not talking about the backup offensive line. You're not talking about the other guy that came in for Bredesen, right? You're not talking about Luke Gedeke in his first game back.
Nope.
You're talking about Sterling Shepard, stupid offensive pass interference call. And you're talking about Tristan Wirfs and Graham Barton. Those are the only three guys that are left, Beck. So who are you talking about? And the crazy thing about it is Tristan's his best friend. Graham Barton's second year center, first rounder, and Sterling Shepard is only here because of Baker Mayfield. So what does that tell you? Like, that's the thing. What I get is like, you just said, like, all right, now the media is going to process of elimination. There's the process of elimination. You're talking about two of arguably your best friends on the team and your second round center that you probably spend more time with than anybody because you snaps you the ball. So how is that a good thing, right? We're bad mouthing Tua for that, for saying missing meetings. It probably maybe goes a little bit farther than, because I don't know if he took any accountability, but still, like, it's, they may not be in the same house, but Beck, they're on the same block.
It's the same to me, Jay. Be honest with you, because what Baker said yesterday, all right, is this: I didn't like the way everybody prepared. That's what he said.
That's what it says, yes.
Okay, so why did you say that before the game then? Like, the results didn't turn out well. Good, okay. Now, you're all upset. That's fine. Then approach them. But to put it out there in the ether like that, so everybody has to talk about it, to me, is not leadership. I don't like it. I promise you, somebody brings it up. I wouldn't be shocked if it's not Todd Bowles. Like, that's not helping. That's not helping anybody. It's not helping anybody on a skid like this. That's not going to bring the locker room together. I don't see it.
Now you have a couple of games against Buffalo and the Rams. Two teams where it's like, oof, this thing can go from 6-2 to 6-5 real fast, Beck.
Real fast.
Can it? Well, but here's the thing, and I want to see if you agree with me for this. They've got experience of losing games in a row at this point of the year. They've done it the last 2 years. And the division, whether people want to say it or not, the division's terrible, man. So, I mean, if you're 6-5, right, and you're still in first place by 2 games in the division, ideal? No. But in the grand scheme of everything, is it the sky is falling? I don't know if it is. Like, I feel like they've given themselves a cushion. If they didn't establish an identity, if they didn't play all that great the first 8 games, fine. But at least what they did do was put wins in their pocket to give them some breathing room to play like shit in the middle of the season. How could that be? Am I wrong in thinking that, or is there a way to kind of be nervous how this thing is going to end? Because 6-2 to 6-5, nobody wants to go on a 3-game losing streak.
I think you would be okay. I'd be okay if you thought that way if you were the Carolina Panthers, not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because at the beginning of this year, people were picking them to win the Super Bowl. They start off 6-2. So if they go 6-5, and to me, when I'm hearing other people go, well, the Falcons lost, and well, the Saints, I don't give a rat's ass. If we sneak into the playoffs again, what do you think we're gonna do? If we, you know what I'm saying? If we lose the next 2 games and we kind of limp in the playoffs, it's gonna be the same Buccaneers. I don't want that personally. By the end of this season, if we make the playoffs, I want to have some confidence because we're supposed to be getting better, okay? And when I'm defending Todd Bowles, which I've done many times, I'm saying that, look, we're not getting worse. We kind of stayed par for the course, but I could see us getting better. And at the beginning of this season, roster-wise, I think we have one of the better rosters, but it's been, eviscerated. And if we get to a point where we lose 2 more games in a row, you can lose a lot of games in a row, Jay, okay? Because you can flip a coin every week, and they might come up tails every freaking time. Because at the end of this season, everybody's penciling in wins against Atlanta and penciling in wins against Carolina. Carolina don't give a crap. And Carolina's not scared of the Buccaneers. So you better figure out a way to win one of these next 2 games some way or another.
But that's my point, is that you lose these 2 games, you're 6-5. And then you go 5-1 down the stretch, right? You go 5-1 down the stretch.
We're the same as last year.
That's what I'm saying. But then you go 11-6. You're a game better than you were last year. Right. And then it's just like, well, you took another step forward, didn't you? So if you go 5-1, you go 11-6, and then you get into the playoffs, and then you win a game, you lose a game. Like, it's where are we at with this team? Right. Like, where's the bar? Like, I feel like the Lightning, we know where the bar is. The Rays, I think we kind of have an idea of where the bar is, but the Bucs are in a weird spot, man. Because, like, Beck, if they go 5-1 down the stretch after losing these 2 games, if they do, and they're 11-6, let's say they win that first round and then they lose in the divisional round, is this season a success? Is this season a step forward? Well, they won 1 more regular season game. They won a playoff game after not winning one last year. I won't feel like that, though. I mean, I don't know if I'll feel like that if they go 11-6 and bow out in the divisional round. What say you?
Well, that's a great hypothetical. I'm going to say this, Jay. If they lose the next 2 games, they won't go 5-1 in the last 6 games. They're not good enough then. They're not good enough. If you lose 4 games in a row, and I mean, we haven't played well offensively in 3. If we don't play offensively the next 2, that's 5 games in a row we don't play well offensively. We can't think we're going to beat anybody after that, okay? So if they lose 2 in a row, they're going to be looking around, looking for somebody. I think people are looking around for people to make plays. Who are they looking for? I mean, with Tez Johnson is a great 4, but he's a 2. Abuka is a 1. He should be a 3. I mean, he's good enough to be a 1, but we never expect him to be that. And Kate Otten's as a number 1 target, and Kate fights, but you're talking about Abuka and Kate Otten is our explosive offense. It's not good. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to take us too far. That's for sure.
They lost 4 in a row last year, and then they went 6-1 down the stretch. So that's the reason why I bring it up. They would lose at the most 3 in a row, right? You would hope this year, and then they would go 5-1 down the stretch. You would hope, but it's tough to think that they're going to answer the bell for the 3rd year in a row. But that's what the top, like, part of us thinks, like, I understand what you're saying. We can only judge it based on what we've seen recently, right? Right. I'm watching it; doesn't look too impressive. But if there's one thing about Todd Bowles, whether people like him or they don't like him, I mean, he's not going to panic, man. He's not going to freak out. He's not going to get to a point where he's going to lose any kind of faith in what he does and with this team. And, how much onus, how much blame do you put on him for what happened yesterday?
I mean, I hate to tell 1 week a coach is good and the next week a coach is bad. That happens as coordinators. It happens with the head coaches. I just think Todd Bowles is a good X's and O's guy. Okay. Yesterday, his team got outplayed. Period. I mean, I hate to talk about effort levels. A couple plays, I didn't like the effort level. Okay, I didn't think Vita Vea had great effort level on that one big run up the middle. Okay, if you want to be great, effort level has to be part of it. You can call all the defensive plays you want, and they could be the perfect calls. But if somebody's out of place, then it's not about the coaching all the time. So I hate to blame coaches for players messing up. But the coaches are supposed to put the right players in place. And this Buccaneer team, if you once again go back to the beginning of the season, if you play that team should be good. Right. This team shouldn't be good. It really shouldn't. And they're playing that way. They're lucky they started the season 6-2. We'd be talking about next season already.
All right, so we'll flip the script a little bit here. How nervous were you that Indiana's perfect season was going to go up in smoke before they're able to find a way to come back and win that game?
Well, I watched the back end of the game. I watched the whole game. And
he's always watching the back end, folks.
I don't know if I've ever watched a college game that nervous. Never.
I love that.
I mean, my knees were going, and I was
knee knocking.
I wanted to drive more than that drive there. And there was 2 catches on that drive that were absolutely ridiculous. And I was after the one catch with the white cat number 80, in the boundary. I go, they're going to win this game. And Mendoza, it just made sense that he did it at that time. And Cignetti is I don't think he's ever said anything that I don't love. He just doesn't care. I love that. I love that guy.
You heard what he said when they asked him, like, your teams haven't won there? He was like, this team hasn't.
This team has never played here. That's a real thing, though.
It is. Oh, God. You ready for some breaking news? Did you see the breaking news?
No, what happened?
The prayers have been answered.
JTS came back.
JTS is getting cut and re-signed by the Buccaneers. For the 3rd straight year, the Giants are 2-8. Yeah. And now they have fired Brian Daboll. He is out as the head coach of the New York Giants.
Are you crying?
Sayonara, buddy. Deuces. Now, if the Dolphins can fire McDaniel and then hire him as the OC, will be okay. But, I mean, losing teams just find a way to lose. I was going to text Momola yesterday because he's a big Bears fan. The Giants are winning that game the entire time until the end. Do you know that the Giants are the first team in NFL history to have 4 10-plus point leads on the road and lose every single game?
Oh, Jesus.
That's a crazy stat.
That's crazy.
what does that tell you? Like, you find a way to lose 10. It's not like you were leading. You were leading by 10 plus points 4 times on the road, and you lost every single one of them. Woo!
Yikes. I don't even know what the problem is. Like, what is the problem? If you're good enough to go up 10, then you should be good enough to win, shouldn't you?
Yeah, just making every wrong decision. I mean, you're running Jackson Dart all the entire time. Like, he's getting hurt at the end of games, too. That's what people are getting. He doesn't get hurt in the beginning of the games. He gets hurt at the end of the game. So it's like, you got to know, man, to take care of. He's a freaking rookie. You got to help him out a little bit, man. To think that he's just, because the one game against Denver that they lost, he didn't scramble at all. He didn't scramble at all because they were like, don't do anything. I was like, you got to do something. You got to do a little bit, but
I think he's a young Baker, though. I don't think you could tell him anything.
No,
I know, tell
but
Baker anything.
You saw him. He was super in that. I watched that whole Denver game, which just still took years off my life. But there was a couple times wide open. He couldn't have ran. He didn't ran because they probably told him, don't run. You're like, you can't take that out of his game.
No.
You can't, but you got to manage it a little bit. That's why I thought all things we talk about with Russell Wilson, that was one thing that he's always done really well. He was able to run, get out of bounds, hold the ball out and get a first down. Now he goes in there and he's absolutely terrible. Unbelievable.
Yes,
your Aaron Rodgers led Steelers lost last night.
Yeah, I'm not, that's my guy. He'll always be my guy.
I don't know what is it with the NFL this year? Like, how does this how do you explain what happened yesterday? Miami destroys Buffalo. They didn't beat them, they destroyed them. The Panthers, a week after going to Lambeau and beating the Packers, who had one loss going into that game, they come home and they lose to the 1-win Saints. And then the Jets win again. Like, this year in the NFL is as crazy as I've ever seen. Week to week, it is just a completely different ballgame.
It seems that way. The ball's not round. That's what they say. It bounces funny. Every week you go out there, brother. Like, I don't think I was ever favored to win a game. I think we won a few, but anytime we beat anybody, it was probably it was like a big upset. So they happen every single week. They do. It's like that. It seems like the major ones happen this week, but there's been about 3 or 4 weeks this season where you're like, Jesus, like, it was hard to just pick the winners and losers.
Yeah.
I think 1 week on my calendar, so I had 5 winners. 5. I mean, it's hard. If you tried to get them wrong, we obviously get 11 right. But you know how that goes. It's not that easy even to pick the winner.
All right, before I let you go, I got to ask you this one question. Today is Coop's Catch. John Cooper out there raising money for pediatric cancer, and Charles Barkley is out there with Captain Mike Anderson and John Cooper, which is pretty cool to see. If you could take one person, they got to be alive, from the 4 major sports to go fishing with, who would it be? Basketball, baseball, football, and hockey. They have to still be alive. Who would you go fishing with?
Jesus criminy. I did see Charles Barkley out there, and I was a huge Charles Barkley fan.
So he would be the basketball one?
No, not necessarily. On basketball, I like Shaq. I think Shaq. I could talk business with Shaq.
Need a bigger boat.
A much bigger boat. In baseball, does Ichiro speak good English?
He can speak it. He'll be hanging out with you. That's a good one. I like that. I'll hang out with
Ichiro. And in hockey, I'll go with Coach Cooper.
Oh, okay. I like it. And football?
Some good stories. And football, we go with. They have to be alive?
No, they have to be alive. Yeah, just alive.
I'm going to go with Barry Sanders.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll go with Barry Sanders. You know what I mean? Or Calvin Johnson. Me and him could talk cannabis.
I love it. 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. What they got going on right now, buddy, at the Dignitary Cafe, as we got the beat going in the background.
Is that your music going?
Yeah.
I like the vibe, dog. I like the vibe, though. We actually had an open mic after the game, which was cool. We had a bunch of people here rapping. Having a good time. But we just keep it loose, bro. The best kava and kratom in town. We got coffee, soft drinks, the whole 9 yards, and 420 friendly in the back, so you can unwind here. You know what I'm saying?
How did that guy do yesterday that was hanging out with us at the game, the Josh
Allen? Actually, he was rapping last night. He was pretty damn good. I was impressed.
Nice. Good stuff, man. All right, make sure you check out the In the Trenches podcast. Ian is streaming live, playing NCAA as well. What is it, every day at 4, you said?
Around 4:30, yeah.
Ian Beckles show on YouTube. Go check him out there. He joins us every Monday at 12:30 here on the Recher podcast. Beckles and Recher podcast every Wednesday right around 3:15.
Yeah.
The second overall pick in the 1990 CFL draft, Ian H. Beckles, the 21st century philosopher. Beck, appreciate you, my brother. I'll see you on Wednesday.
All right, kid.